The first one is Mourka, actress, writer, singer, dancer, tennis player. Mourka loves to rock the world with her outrageous true life stories. Mourka.
When I told my mother that I was leaving home to become an actress in New York City, she threw a pot of hot potato soup at me. She couldn't understand my need to escape the tiny, dark apartment in Nyack, New York, with the camphor-scented claustrophobia, the sickness and the sadness that permeated the walls. I had to leave, and I did, with potato soup on my shoes. I was only 19 and determined to make it in New York. I moved in with my cousin, began attending dance, acting, and singing classes. I answered the cattle call auditions where usually, after hours of waiting, the director with one swift gesture of his hand would dismiss an entire group of 5'3" blondes, of which I was one. For nourishment, I ate 25-cent hot dogs with sauerkraut and made free hot water and ketchup soup at the automat. There was almost an instant descent down to the dregs of show business. I began go-go dancing in bars to make ends meet. Men leered as I danced in cages with my fringe, fishnet stockings, and red high heels. Then a break. I was hired as a wardrobe mistress for Old Calcutta, the nude musical. This soupçon of show business glitz stopped when Frank Rizzo, the mayor of Philadelphia, closed the show because of the nudity and the obscenity. My dreams of stardom vanished. But visions of hot potato soup catapulting through the air spurred me on. Then in December 1969, 2 years after pounding the pavement, I got a call that I landed the character role in the theatrical version of an old Doris Day film, a comedy entitled Tunnel of Love. Within a week, I was sitting in a Piedmont Air puddle jumper heading for a 4-month tour in the Carolinas and Georgia. I was going to be fed, housed, and paid as a professional actress. I wasn't sure who was flying higher, me or the plane. When the tour ended in Atlanta and I was packing my bags to go home, the producer called. He was gasping. Susan, the star of his next show, The Owl and the Pussycat, had the flu and could not go on. He begged me to get the script, read the part of Doris, and board the first plane to Charlotte, North Carolina. Please, he said, we open tonight. The leading man, Robert Kuiper, and I had 2 hours to read and block the show. Makeup was slapped onto my face, and I stood backstage as the producer explained to a packed audience that I would be playing the role of the Pussycat, script in hand. I knew I had to do good. The curtain rose. For 1.5 hours, I laughed, I cried, I whirled. Several times the script flew out of my hands, and I lost my wig when I flipped Robert from behind the couch. Nevertheless, I became Doris, a charming part-time prostitute who falls for Felix, a nerdy bookworm writer. Thanks to Robert, who always stayed in his owl character, no matter what happened on stage, I was able to sail in the part of the Pussycat. The audience was in stitches. The next day, the Charlotte, North Carolina Observer ran a front-page headline. Script in hand, she saved and stole the show.
That's Mourka.